Greetings and welcome to Airgoons. This is the Jeff-17 Taxi and Takeoff tutorial. The last video was a cold start, and some of the steps have already been completed that I'm going to go over here. I started with a hot start here, as you're likely to encounter that in your flying career. So if you did the cold start, just follow along and double check that you've got your stuff set. Okay, from a hot start, you're going to want to confirm your weapons loadout. I'm fine with this, so I'm going to hit cancel. If you want to make changes, just hit OK and wait for the ground crew to complete the weapons loadout. We're going to need to update the data cartridge because, hey, it hasn't been put in. So we need to open the canopy, otherwise they can't slip the data cartridge in. And now we need to talk to the ground crew and update DTC data.
Copy.
While they're doing that, we can adjust
DTC
our
now.
internal lights and external lights.
DTC update complete.
Data cartridge has been updated, so we click twice on this slot to complete the insertion. We can close the canopy. Okay. Left display, press all and enter to update the data. Probably going to get the configuration warning here. Again, fiddle with these until it's the right combination here. We can adjust our radio to transmit plus guard. Okay, oxygen is flowing, so that's good. What else here? We don't have the alignment warning, we're aligned. Okay, it looks like we've got the SPJ equipped, so we need to ensure that the SPJ is powered on here. If you've got the targeting pod, you need to click on the CLDP. That's for the targeting pod. Our volumes are correct. Okay. Let's check IFF. That's off, so let's turn on IFF again. Data link isn't on, so press the arrow next to COM2 twice. Go to 19er. Press the arrow again. If you've got a flight lead that's in a Jeff, leave it on slave and go to any plus. Only the lead Jeff needs to be on master mode. If you are the only Jeff in the area, change it from slave to master and NES. Hit return. Our HNS is already on INS GPS, that's fine. Brightnesses are good here. So press 1 to return to, pressing 1 doesn't return to nav mode from the hot start because we're already there. So on the left display, press the lower center and go to EFIS. Okay, now this is what the default navigation mode is. Alright, so we can turn on our taxi light, take off the parking brake, and we can begin taxiing over to the runway. Ensure that your nose wheel steering is on. I'm going to fast forward through this and I'll catch up with you back at the runway. Okay, now that we're on the runway, let's just confirm our weight here. We're at 26,771 pounds. That's pretty heavy. I'd say anything above 25,000, you're going to want to enable your trailing edge flaps. It's by your left knee here. Below 25,000 pounds, you can take off without the trailing edge flaps. You can turn off the taxi light. And here's the N2 number here. We're going to hold the brakes, throttle up. You can check if your engine health is okay. I'm just going to assume everything's fine here. Normally you'd throttle up to about 80. Check that everything's fine with your engines, and then bump it up to 90. 90 is good for a light takeoff. Since we're a heavy boy today, we're gonna put it up to 95. If you're closer to the maximum weight limit of the plane, then I'd recommend going full afterburner. And disable nose wheel steering, because it'll get a bit squirrely. Once your airspeed hits 120, gently pull back on the stick. You're just going to try and take the load off of your landing gear. It can't handle too much. If you're light, go up to about 10 degrees. If you're heavy, go shallower. And since we're heavy, we're going to take off around 170, 180. Okay, we're going up. So we can come down and raise our landing gear.
Altitude, altitude, altitude.
Yeah, we're fast enough now to raise the trailing edge flaps. While I go through these other things, I'm just going to put it on the autopilot on attitude hold, just while I walk you through the other settings here. Now that you're airborne, you need to turn on your radar. You can't have it on while it's on the ground. To turn it on, you need to disable standby and silent mode. To disable it, click the button above standby and silent. So when it has the slash through it, that means that standby and silent are disabled. To prove that the radar is working, I'm going to switch to air to ground mode with the HOTAS button. Here you can see that the ground radar is mapping. Now that we're in air to ground mode, we want to set up our weapons. So turn master arm to arm. Come back up. See, we've got the LD-10 selected. They're powered off right now. To turn them on, press the button next to power off. Now they're in standby. Now they're armed. However, these require some alignment. So the alignment timer is counting down. Here you can adjust other settings as you see fit. Let's switch to air-to-air mode. Make sure that our PL5s are powered up. Okay, PL5s are good too. And since we've got the SPJ, you might want to confirm that the SPJ is set fine, so press the combat button. This gives you your chaff and flare count, and the right side is for your SPJ if you have it equipped. So it's on standby, that's fine. And this is the jamming type, and you can do forward, backward, forward plus backward for the jamming. This is where you set your flare programs. Out of the main menu, you can adjust your flare programs too. Okay, let's go back to nav mode. Okay. And so that's it. You're ready to go engage the enemy, or just go for a joyride. Fly safe.